many for organization. And as you have seen this presentation today about say leadership conscience model is actually free for you, but to log out is €100. That was not written in the invitation, but to put jokes on side, actually the cost for your participation is 1 hour of your life. So it's very high price actually, but thank you for your trust in the methodology. And I will explain you today very directly how it works. And it's based on my 30 years of experience and 20 years of leadership experience in 7 different countries. In US, in Canada, in France, in Germany, in Switzerland, in Yugoslavia, etc. The problem I'm referring to last almost 20 years exploded last few years on the global scene because of extremely bad leadership. You can see that in politics, in business, in culture, in movie industry. I don't know, I don't understand why still some rock bands are around. Where are the young guys to replace these 80 years old guys who are canceling the world tour because of terrible medical problems that are typical for 80 plus years old, etc. But we have this situation. The situation is I have been engaged in executive positions more than 20 years. Usually I have had very intelligent, very well educated, very hardworking bosses, but during my whole career in all these 7 countries, I have had just one leader. And I was asking myself, but why? Why it's so tough? Why it's so problematic to lead people? Why? And I have been developing this methodology 12 years, and it's very simple. The people do not understand the basics. To lead people, you have to be capable to lead yourself first. To lead yourself, you have to know who you are. And 99% of people leave this planet and this 3D dimensions without any idea who they were. Because society puts such pressure on you as a small child. Up to 7 years, your subconscious mind is developed in such a way that you don't know for the rest of your life who you really are. In Bible, in English version of Bible, this being is named thyself, T-H-Y, self. This thyself is the God-given original, this being that is born as authentic self. The pressure of society, firstly of your mother, then your father is coming on the scene, then your relatives, siblings, surrounding, social layer, culture, religion, peers, neighborhood, bam, 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 form from this beautiful original. They form ego-based personality. They form the shadow by my former neighbor, Carl Gustav Jung, who used to live here in the neighborhood a little bit earlier than me. And this conditioned being is called persona, because in Latin language, persona is the mask which actors in antique era, in antique Greece and Roman times, used to hold on the wooden stick in front of their face, acting some character in this drama, in this performance. And this mask was named persona. So in all languages coming from Latin, like personally, personal, persönlich, etc. In all these languages, this is coming from persona, from this mask that your society glue on your face, demanding, requesting, and imposing on you to play this character till the end of the life. Therefore, most people are not capable to know who they really are. Therefore, most people are not capable to lead themselves because they are dominated, led by own ego, but own needs to satisfy this animal. Therefore, most people are led by their shadows need, the part of personality defined by you that they never was allowed to develop by society, by parents, by religion, by rules, by blah, blah, blah. And therefore, they are not authentic themselves. And at the end, therefore, they cannot lead others. Because somehow, somewhere here behind, they can feel, especially females, they can feel very fast from their boss, whether their boss is authentic being or persona, or conditioned personality playing the role, playing the leader, playing the boss, pretending to be, but it is not, or he is not, or she is not. So I will open presentation because actually my idea was more to, I don't know whether you can see it now. Can you please just confirm me, Danny?
Okay. You want to share your screen with us, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, down at the bottom of the panel, there's a little icon.
Yeah, of course. Just a sec.
Okay.
Now,
you just click entire window, and then it should show.
Yeah, of course. So this is the screen, and then what?
I have this burning question in my mind. You know, how do I unlock this authentic self? And I can't wait.
You have to wait a little bit.
Yeah, I'm patiently waiting for you to start sharing.
Yeah, just a sec. Where is now the one? Because I need the PowerPoint.
Okay.
Just a sec. No, this is me, a community. Strange. I have to go here. Can you see it now?
No, you have to make sure. Did you click the share
No,
screen?
we can continue without, no problem, because anyway I started without, so it's not important. It's important to listen, to understand, and to slideshow anyway. It's too often in our life. Actually, I was joking before on my executive positions that the companies very often are PowerPoint-led companies, you know, by slideshows. So this self-leadership, let's continue. We don't need to lose time on PowerPoint. You can hear me, of course. Danny?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So this self-leadership, as I said, it's a precondition to be a good leader, to be a candidate to be a good leader. And what I did in a short explanation, I developed methodology on two levels. First is SAIL methodology for anybody to come back to authentic self, as Danny said 2 minutes ago, how to come back to yourself. Therefore, in Buddhism, they're saying you have to die to be born again, to reborn. Because this conditioned personality, which is not you, who is not you, must die. And this is painful. You have to give away someone from whom you believe that's you, and you're not. And then when this persona, this fake character, live your so-called life, then you allow your genuine being to express yourself. Why this is so important? Why I'm pointing out that? Because your all maximums, your intellectual maximum, your health maximum, your leadership maximum, your emotional maximum, your beauty maximum, ladies, listen, please, this is important, is in your authentic being. You can be extremely beautiful woman, and you can be in the room on the congress or on the wedding or whatever, there you have 300 beautiful women. But one woman is stealing the show. And she's not the most beautiful one. She does not have the best dress. She's not bam, 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 bam. But she is shining. She is kind of magnet for everyone, for male and female in the room, to spot her. Why? Because she's authentic. She has this ease. She has this radiation. She has this self-confidence. She has this attitude. I'm not seeking attention. I'm aware that I have it, but I'm not seeking for it. I'm not looking for it. It's simply there. So therefore, I'm moving in this direction with my career, trying to bring people with sales methodology back to themselves, because in this zone is the peak performance in all areas of your life. And the second part, when you finish the first one, the second part is for the people who are leading small teams, big teams, holdings, etc. So I have clients in all possible levels, on all possible levels in organizations. Also have housewives. They would like to change their life. They would like to enjoy their life, because of the simple reason that you use and lose huge amount of energy to play this role. And it's even much worse when you have several roles. You're a woman, you're working as a manager in the company, or you're running your own company as an entrepreneur. You are at the same time daughter. At the same time, you are wife. At the same time, you are mother. At the same time, you are a mom. And all these roles you have to fulfill, changing the masks each 2 hours. And all this energy, which was used and lost to play all these roles as a perfect mother, perfect manager, perfect wife, etc., is so energy draining, so energy demanding, that you can fulfill all these duties, obligations, and pleasures only if you're authentic, if you're not losing your energy to playing the different roles, pretending to be what you're not. So in other words, your mind, please distinguish the mind and the brain. Brain is the organ, the most important organ by heart. But the mind is functioning of this organ. So you can have brain with extremely potential, but you can use it by 30% only, or 10%, if your mind is not developed by synapses, etc. So the idea is very simple. You have here there is a national circus in Switzerland named Knie, and they have elephants in circus. And I used to go once a year when they have a show here in Zurich, and they have a small wooden stick and small rope like this, and the elephant, which is, I don't know, 8 or 10 tons, is standing there like a soldier, quite calm. And I was looking and I said, but this is a joke, but this elephant can't go away with this rope and this wooden stick, like not registering that he has any rope around his leg. But the elephant is quiet. Elephant is not moving at all. Because when he was a baby elephant, it was painful to move with the same rope with the same wooden stick. And this pain is carved like in a stone in his mind, in his memories, and he's not moving at all. So what is your rope? What is your pain? What are your traumas from your childhood that are preventing you to be authentic thyself, yourself, God-given original, and be in the peak zone, in the peak performance all the time?
Anyone feel like they want to share? You want to put the the childhood trauma in the chat? You guys can feel free to be completely honest. It can also be anonymous if you like as well. I guess I could go first if that's all right, even.
Okay. Very often in English they call it like a glass ceiling. When you are in the room and the ceiling is, for example, of 3 meters high, and you reach up to 2 meters, and you hit with your head in glass ceiling. You cannot go further. And this glass ceiling is set up by society and in your mind set, how the word say, explanatory, self-explanatory itself. You can feel that actually word personality is coming from persona plus reality. So your personal reality is that. And that's very clearly defined by my former neighbor, Jung, who used to live here in the neighborhood before. And he said, you have factual reality and you have psychological reality. This is your perception of reality. This is how you see the things. I love to tell a very short story during my lectures about the old man and boy having a dinner, and they're eating fish for dinner. And the small boy was very emotional. He's eating really with pleasure, with joy. And the old man noticed that. And the old man said, "You love fish?" And he said, "Yeah, I love very much to eat fish." And the old man asked, "Are you like fishing? Did you provide this fish for dinner? Did you?" Yes, I was this morning down on the river and I caught the fish. I brought the fish in the pile of water and with water, and I brought it in the kitchen. I took the wooden hammer. I hit the fish with the wooden hammer, and then I clean it. I put it in the pan with the hot oil, and now we're enjoying the fish. And the old man said, "Sorry, I don't understand. You caught the fish. You brought the fish in the kitchen. You killed the fish with the wooden hammer. You clean the fish. You put the fish in the hot oil and you love it. You don't love fish. You love yourself. Your perception is that you love the fish. The fish for sure wouldn't agree about that statement anyway, but nobody asked the fish. So with this short story, I would like to explain you that in many situations in your life, it's about your perception. It's purely about your perception. I don't want to bother you with the PowerPoint. I would like you to be completely focused, all your attention to my words, not to disperse your attention to the watching and listening. I have another slide with one tree, only one tree, you know. And this is how you see reality. You see the tree. Another slide, I have a tree with its root. And with these two photos, I would like to show, with these two slides, I would like to show how we are wrong with our perceptions. How we don't see reality as it is at all. By tree, in this short example, you don't see the main part of the tree. You don't see the root. And the root is 3 to 5 times bigger than the part above the ground. And the root growing has huge efforts to grow in the darkness with such resistance in the soil that is 100 times bigger than resistant in the air. But our whole attention, our whole joy, our whole delightness is focused on the upper part.
Even I have a thought if I could share for a second.
Please.
I'm actually thinking of like a tooth, you know, and so, you know, when you have a root canal, maybe that's the childhood trauma that's in the nerves of the tooth and causing the decay, right?
Yeah.
And so if you have a bad tooth, there's often nothing you can do except remove that tooth entirely. So is this the same case when we have these false perceptions or these personas or these childhood traumas that are causing the decay in the roots?
Absolutely, because each tooth is linked to certain organ in our body. And many things in this field are completely wrong, like in whole medicine. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to say that I'm a mechanical engineer by basic education. I'm not MD, but it is like this, unfortunately. Because
so what's the surgery here?
the problem is the following. You have, for example, implantant. That's now fashionable. They take out the tooth and they put implant instead of tooth. How our body is registering this, how our body is seeing this as something that does not belong to us. So our body all the time is saying, oh, we have the body which is not belonging to me. I have to send the energy there to fight, to eliminate it, to take it out. The same is, let's take very banal example. Your child has a temperature. Temperature of 37, 38, 39 is okay. It's not a problem. About 40, 42 is a problem. But what the mothers are doing mostly, they're reducing the temperature. And temperature is there exactly to solve the problem. So you are eliminating the solution because the temperature, higher than 37, is there to heal, to solve the problem. So you are eliminating the solution. Of course, when it's, and then the child has 38.2, degrees, and then they can cold shower and all these crazy methods that absolutely just creating additional problems instead of to solve it. What I would like to say with these three is that our perception very often is wrong. But let me take you just 3 English words to point out that in very simple terms. But before that short explanation, your eyes can register less than 2% of electromagnetic field. In other words, you cannot see what the eagle can see. You cannot see what ant can see. You can see only less than 2% of electromagnetic field. The same is for all your senses. I just took eyes aside as example. So remember this, please. So you have huge scope of electromagnetic field, and you see just this part. You register with your sense, all your senses, just one tiny part of reality. Based on this part, that is very reduced, which is actually accommodated and by evolution adapted for survival, you have some thoughts. And your thoughts in your amygdala, in the middle of your brain, which is your security service, dangerous, not dangerous, yes or no, stress hormones react, or pleasure hormones, happiness hormones. You have emotion. Emotion is, there are just 2 emotions, love or fear. Everything else are feelings. And the people are mixing, they don't know what they're talking about, feelings, emotions. And once again, by Freud, by Jung, by biggest name in psychology, there are only 2 emotions, love or fear. Everything else are coming out of these 2 emotions, and those things are feelings. Why? You have thought, you have emotion. Emotion is triggering your glands, and you have hormonal reactions. So hormones are running through your blood, through your blood circulation in your body, and this is the energy. So emotion is energy in motion, emotion, which means, once again, thought, emotion, energy, and then because of these hormones running through your blood, through your body, you feel like sad or happy or depressed or delighted or whatever. You have, according to British nomenclature, you have 30,000 feelings coming out of only 2 emotions. So, and then you feel somehow. So when you feel somehow, you can verbalize how do you feel, or without pronouncing, without saying how do you feel, you can have word or without. Then you act, you have action based on your feeling. Repeated actions are habits. Some of your habits is your character, and your character is your destiny. So now you have the whole algorithm from thought to destiny. I developed that to explain to the people where you can impact in your life and how you can lead yourself. And before you are capable at all to lead yourself, you have to understand and meet yourself, to be aware who you really, really, really are. Based on this fact, who you really, 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 really are, you can lead yourself. All mental problems, all mental disease, all health problems in your life, all, or 95% of them, I don't want to be radical, but 95% of your health issues are coming from disconnection between your thyself and persona, and condition ego with shadow. And this is not saying Ivan Kokeza, these are saying the biggest and the most respected medicine and religions in the world. All of them are saying that 90% of diseases are coming from your mind. Why? Each body is producing 1,400 biochemical substances daily. Only when you are eating, you know how many substances your digestion system from the mouth to the end is producing. It's unbelievable. Your eyes, your knees, all they need lubrication. I mean, you can imagine 1,400 once again. So I have one slide with the barman with the shaker, you know. And with this slide, I'm explaining this. You are your barman each day, depending of your thoughts, depending of the grade of your disconnection between your ego and your thyself, your God-given authentic original, the needs of your soul, depending of this disconnection, this discrepancy, this difference, you are producing daily, once again, 1,400 biochemical substances. So in your shaker, you can have a nice juice and you have to drink it each day, or you can have a gift and you have to drink it each day. And when you are under huge stress, in 3 days, nothing will happen. When you're in huge stress, 3 weeks, nothing big will happen. But when you are in huge stress 20 years, you will get sick. Because you have been poisoning yourself so long that the body say, I can't anymore. Sorry, that's it. So that's the reason why 90% of diseases are caused by yourself. And I'm going back to these 3 English expressions that are actually describing my methodology in very simple terms. First, you have your reality, as I explained, and you can describe it as real eyes. So real eyes. But when your sight is registering something outside, you realize, so from real eyes to realize, your mind is giving some sort of importance and some sort of meaning to this, what you have seen. But from real eyes to realize, from sight to mind, you come to realize, which is your subconscious is giving the meaning and importance based of your past. So based on your past, you're noticing your present, giving the meaning and importance to different people and events around you, and you are actually predicting your future. The problem is that your future, in most cases, will be repeated past if you allow your subconscious mind, that is running 95% of your awakening hours each day, and therefore conscious leadership is crucial for your life, for your success, and for your happiness. As I said, I'm by base education, I'm a mechanical engineer, and I like formulas, you know, that's a professional disease from university. The issue is your present state of happiness, or your happiness at this very moment, let me say like that, it's equal to your perception of present moment minus your expectations. This is my formula for happiness. Because you have people who have everything in their life, really everything. They're healthy, they have nice family, they're successful, they don't have any problem, they have whatever they would like to. Here, I see such people here in Switzerland, with this high living standards and beautiful nature and nicely organized state and, kind of small paradise. But you don't have more happy people here than in Rio de Janeiro. In the poorest part of Rio de Janeiro, you have more people that are happy with their lives than in Zurich, in Switzerland. And I have been asking myself for 10 years, but why? How this is possible? Makes no sense at all. But the answer is in SAIL. And the SAIL, as abbreviation, stands for sincerity, authenticity, integrity, and love. Why? Because my investigation, taking the biggest leader in our history on this planet, like Nelson Mandela, etc., Martin Luther King, and Michael Jordan in sport, and etc., etc. And I analyze all these people who changed the history. What was the common for them? That was my question. They are coming from different political systems, from different countries, from different religions, from different continents, different occupations, etc. But I asked myself, what is the common? What are the common elements? And these 4 elements are second precondition to become a leader. So once again, first precondition to become a leader is to meet yourself, to meet thyself, to lead yourself. Then when you met yourself, you have to introduce yourself to yourself. And then the second precondition is you have to have sincerity, authenticity, integrity, and love. But most people do not live this SAIL. Most people live lies. When you read the SAIL backwards and change A to E by emotional based authenticity, you have lies. And most people are living whole their life the lies of their ego, lies coming from their shadow, which is unfulfilled part of yourself, the part that was not allowed by your phenotype, by your environment, by your religion, by your parents, to express yourself, to develop yourself, to show yourself, because it was not socially accepted, it was not allowed, it was religiously not okay. The parents were not satisfied that you go this way. And most people are suffering in their life because they're not living thyself. They're not living what are the needs of their soul. And when I'm explaining this, I'm saying all the time, please think about words. Words are so important. The pain is unease in your body. When you have the stomach ache or you have the knee problems, it's a pain. This is the pain. So your knee is ill or your stomach has a problem. This is pain. But suffering is the pain of your soul. Suffering is when your soul is not living itself, when your soul is not allowed to express and to live 100%, to go own path. And the suffering is the key in my methodology, because the masochistic understanding of suffering is, okay, it's tough, but I will make it. I'm strong, I can do it, etc. Why? Because of wrong understanding of suffering. Because suffering is the signal, like the pain is the signal. When you have stomach ache, your stomach is saying, don't eat, let me peace one day, I will be okay, but don't put anything heavy inside, please. Don't eat this. What you ate now 2 hours ago, it's not good for me. I'm sending you a signal. Don't eat this food anymore. It's not good for you. It's not good for me. I cannot digest that. When your knee is sending you the same information, you said, okay, 2 weeks, I will not make any sport. I will take care about this knee and the knee will be okay. So this is the pain, is the message. You should love your pain, understanding, not masochistically again, but to love your pain in the sense, okay, I got it. I will do that, no problem. Suffering is the message of your soul that you're not living yourself. So suffering is not invitation to have a bad life. Suffering is the message, change, you are not living your path. You are not living your way. Suffering is your soul needs, and suffering is like navigation in your car. Suffering is, oh, wrong street, go right, go right, go right, come back to the same street. This is your way. So your soul navigation is, suffering is your soul navigation corrections. Let me put in that way. And what I'm doing in my methodology is basically 2 things. To start with, you have to reach the level of your peace of your soul, in order to avoid suffering. Peace of your soul is not to be chased. You don't chase peace. You're not running after peace. You don't try to be peaceful. You choose peace with 3 methodologies. First, you ignore the things you cannot control. And 95% of things in your life you can't control, but everybody is trying to control: partner, boss, circumstances. Can you control Middle East crisis? No. Did you have any chance to control the COVID-19 crisis? No. Can you control behavior of your boss? No. You can't control 95 or 98, 99% of the things in your life. You can't. So ignore that. Don't lose your time, energy, and life on the things you cannot control. The second is, release needs to be understood, to be validated, to be understood, to be to explain yourself, to justify your actions, etc. People who understand, they understood. The people who cannot understand, they will never understand. Because each conversation, each communication, which is key for leadership, as one of the most important keys, communication, of course, is based always on the level of the person who is less educated, less intelligent, less informed, and less conscious. So if you talk to me about cooking, I can understand 3% because I'm idiot in the kitchen. So you cannot talk to, my understanding when you're talking about cooking is, okay, good. Yeah, that's it. So the conversation always is on the level of the person who is less capable in this area. So release the need, no explanations. Third and the last one, is stop giving energy to unimportant things. Focus on your purpose. And I said you, what is your navigation? It's very simple. You feel that. Your intuition will feel that. Just few words, not to be skipped about it was mentioned when Danny asked you what would be your focus, what would be your questions. I will leave, of course, in the end, few minutes for Q&A session. So you can.
We got about 10 minutes. So
yeah, I will finish in 3 minutes and then we can focus ourselves Q&A. Thank you, Danny.
Okay.
I would like just shortly to answer the first question. So we already started Q&A right now, because the question was inspiration and motivation and such stuff. How to inspire? It's a crucial difference between manager and leader. Managers do motivate person. Motivation, from Latin word motivare, meaning push, pull, stimulate, etc. in Latin language. Motivare is sticking carrot. You have bonus, you have new position, you have award, manager of the month, you are praised during the meeting of whole staff for your achievement, for your move, for your strategic contribution, whatever. Managers are motivating people. Leaders are inspiring people. Inspirare in Latin language means breathing together with God, which means being thyself. So you are in the same energy of consciousness. For me, consciousness is God, is love. And the lack of love is fear. Like lack of heat is cold. Like lack of light is darkness. So there is no duality. Everything is oneness. You just have it or you have a lack of it. So this is the difference. This is answer to the lady at the beginning who asked about inspiration. So thank you very much for your time, for your attention. And please feel free to ask any questions. We have now Q&A.
Yes, thank you, Ivan. Well, you gave us a lot to think about. And actually, that last point you just made about being inspirational, it reminds me of something I learned early on in my entrepreneurial career. I used to read the blog of Paul Graham. He's the founder of Y Combinator. And he created a heuristic for how you make decisions about what you're going to do in your business and your life. And he said, do things that make your friends say, wow. And he's like, you shouldn't really care about the opinions of people you don't know, but you should care about the opinions of people around you, your friends, your family, the people that you love, and do things that make them feel wow. So make them say wow. So I think that's kind of like the path to becoming that inspiring individual. I did have one question, because you gave us a lot to think about, and I really like the the analogy of the roots and also the tree, or maybe the tooth and the roots. And I think that with one of the reasons why people maybe in Switzerland seem to have that perfect life on the appearance is they're focusing on the above ground aspect, what it looks like, what the tree looks like above ground, but the roots, the things that people don't see are maybe falling into decay and becoming debilitated, things like this. So we're focusing so much on that surface level appearance and what's above the surface, while the roots are decaying. And maybe it's the opposite in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, where they have the really strong roots. They're around their friends, their family every day. They have that support network. And then maybe the surface, it doesn't look that big because they might not have a lot materially. So I guess my question is, if you were to talk to one of those people in Switzerland, for example, that look great on the outside, but they're suffering inside. What's the first thing that they can do to start healing those roots?
That's exactly the point. Your 95% of your problems, including this unhappiness of the life, is coming out of this disconnection, out of this difference between yourself. Let me try once again to I don't know what's the problem, but okay. Probably I have too many open files. The problem is that you're not living yourself. You have had the Oscar-winning film a few years ago with Lady Gaga and what is his name? And it was this famous song by Lady Gaga, "You Feel the Void." Because when you are whole, when you are conscious, you are peaceful. When you are living this imposed personality, as I said, by society, by parents, by religion, by bam, 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 you are whole time under huge stress to play this role. So in other words, to make it short, Danny, I'm saying now that the men in Amazon in tribe, or in Africa in tribe, is much less under the pressure of social expectations of his surrounding, of his environment, than the man who lives in Fifth Avenue in New York. So you have much less expectations from society, how you should walk, how you should dress, how you should act, how you should behave, how you should bam, 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 bam. And this is another problem in this society of the so-called developed world, and we are a little bit overdeveloped. That's our problem. And that's a problem in Switzerland. I was in the tram in Bern, in capital, and one old lady told me, we don't used to eat in the tram. I have been eating sandwich in the tram. And in Zurich is allowed, no problem at all. But in Bern is not allowed to eat in the public transport vehicles, in buses, in trams, etc. It's not allowed at all. So they have so many rules for everything, over-regulating, that you don't feel freedom. You feel the void because you have to act according to all these rules, that you cannot be yourself. And then you have society, which is actually going from have is the top priority. This is your value. In America, they ask you how much you make per year, correct? So that means, depending on your answer, I will establish my respect to you. So have is priority. Then what you have to do to achieve this have, and then the be is the last. Instead, to be vice versa. First, you have to be your original self, your authentic self, and then you have to do what you love, being yourself, and then you will have. So we make it vice versa as society, and a percentage of our unhappiness is huge. When COVID was on the peak, I was asked by one friend, and I told him, this is not a problem. COVID-19 is not the problem. Problem is our unbelievable unhappiness. This is the pandemic. This is the real pandemic on this planet. This is the real problem on this planet. This is the main problem. The pandemic of unhappiness. Think yourself for a second, how many people you met in your life that are at complete ease. Because if you're not at ease, you will get dis-ease. And that's this story with barman and shaker. Because when you're at ease, your body as a perfect machine is functioning perfectly well. But when you are poisoning your body, of course, the machine is in deep problem. And then you have dis-ease.
Ivan, we're just at 1 hour, so I just wanted to say thank you for this discussion today. You really gave us a lot to think about. Really appreciate it. Thank you for being generous with your time. And thank you all for attending. We're also going to send you guys the recording and also the notes from this interview afterwards. We'll send that by email if you've registered through Eventbrite. And also, if you guys want to come see Ivan in person, he's going to be speaking at the Nomad Basecamp Summit later this year in Nepal, September 1st to 7th. So if you guys have those dates available, please feel free to come out and join us, join me and Ivan. And we're going to have a lot of great discussions during that week. We're going to have a week together, networking, having dinners together, sharing a space for growth. So thank you guys again for your time, and thank you Ivan for the discussion. You really gave us a lot to think about. And we'll also send your WhatsApp, if that's okay, so that they can get in touch with you afterwards if they have any questions.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you all.
Have a great day, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.